Today is going to be the first of me reading English History Survey by Sir George Clark. It is a book I found in a store in a place I was not expecting. Copyright 1971, printed in Great Britain. It's actually a book printed thousands of miles away from here. Oxford University Press, Ely House, E-L-Y-L. I am sorry for any and all mispronunciations. London W.1. Trying to relearn my people's history. Glasgow, New York, Toronto, these are all the places where I guess they would actually print the book out. And he has other books that were mine gaining somehow. And this is the map. And we're going to hear the terms Northumberland. And I've only read the first, let me go into the table of contents. And I'm not going to read all of it. The table of contents itself is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages. Okay. This is a book with, I say, the perfect size font. Not too small that you need a magnifying glass or you get a headache, and not too large where you barely have anything on the page. And out of those 12 pages, 29 chapters with 26 parts. Part 1 being elements, meaning archaeology, prehistory, geography, etc. And then it ends on the 12th page of the table of contents. Part 29, Total War, 1939 to 1945. Comparison of the two German wars, Winston Churchill Prime Minister from 1940 to 45, the United States involved, so on and so forth. I want to start making videos. I actually need to make all the videos I said I was going to make. And I would if I had the correct computer software, which I don't. I have a 2017 phone, very old. It isn't great when it comes to space. I keep having to delete things, which I have no real apps on here that I have downloaded myself. I have no clue what's taking up space. I really don't. I'm not a computer nerd. Not a fast typist. Well, maybe medium, 80 words per minute, so on and so forth. And I'm going to read the preface, which is 1¼ pages. And the date on the end of it makes me feel very young, but also old. This is 2025. This is the 30th of October of 2025, Thursday. And this was, almost 55 years ago. It's been 45 since 1980. Yeah, 55. So I'm going to read the preface, and then I'm going to read part 1, elements, and depending on how long that takes, and then upload it. If you want more, I'll do more. And intervals, depending on how long it takes me to read, and I'll try to find something to put on the screen for you to be interested in looking at. As again, I don't have the means to make a documentary like, I just don't. But I want to go through this history because we are being destroyed, we are being invaded, and we need to learn our roots. We need to learn who we were as a people, and that's a fact that we really don't know who we are. I have a gist of who I was told I was. We are. From growing up in one of the counties mentioned, or wasn't a county in this part of the book, but it became a county. That's referenced frequently. And it's very important to the history of these isles. And obviously the Sir George Clark had access to things that we probably don't have access to anymore because it's all being destroyed. So hopefully I can say things correctly. If not, please feel free to correct me. And if you are interested in this, I'll do more. If you know more of what I'm reading, please in the comment section, send links to websites, archives, etc. For me to further my awareness about people, because we need to realize that we really don't know who we are. Who were the original peoples of all these isles? From England, Wales, Scotland, and I'll say the whole thing as Ireland, which they themselves were invaded, and the people probably united more or less until the invasion, colonization, which was wrong. You shouldn't really be doing that. If you go to an island and there's already people there, just leave them alone. If they want to open up communication and trade, it should be respectful and mutually beneficial, not where one has more power or sway over the other. And if something bad happens, floods, hurricanes, etc., which can happen in these parts, not much a hurricane. I don't know what in England you call it, because I'm not in England, unfortunately, anymore. I'm in the United States. Came here as a child. What you call a mutt. I'm a Yank Brit. No, or is it Brit Yank? Because I was born in Great Britain, immigrated here to the States as a child. Doesn't matter, I'm human. We're all human. Those are just terms, labels that have been given to us, but those are in the process of trying to eliminate all of us into one race, basically one ethnicity over the next few generations. Hence why all the European countries are being invaded and we are being wiped out. It's no conspiracy theory, it's just simple. You observe, if you pay attention to what's going on in your area and realize that, yeah, you are being invaded. You don't have to have guns, you don't have to have bombs, you don't have to have tanks to be invaded. We've been brainwashed to think that's the only type of invasion. No, there's other forms and we're experiencing it. Again, in the comments, if you are in an area that is slowly or fastly becoming less of your people, please, let's communicate back and forth. Without any hatred or anything. We all have the right to live, to be ourselves, and we're all being victims here of those that most people aren't even aware of exist. And who knows if it's even a Watt anymore. Not a who, but a Watt now that's in control with advanced AI, robotics. Who knows? It could be an android. It could be a Skynet-like entity. It could be aliens. Who knows? We are only aware of that what is taught to us. Hence why I want to learn more about English history. Because of what was taught to me growing up in England and then as a child here in America, the United States. I wasn't able to learn much of my English history because obviously it's American history, United States history. And for me being mixed, it's weird because that means part of me lost and won, part of me hated the other. And so it's a weird way to look at life. It's helped me see things through other people's point of view, but it's not really about me. It's about all of us from these isles. I really don't say the United Kingdom. I want to say just England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. We all need to learn our history. We need to teach it to our children. And we need to be united. We need to become self-reliant, where we don't starve because the storage or lack of food. If you have a garden, learn to grow food. If you can't, maybe you should get together and see who can do things. But again, that's for another video. So this is English History, a survey by Sir George Clark. And here's the preface, page 5. The purpose of this book is to show how the English people came to form a community, what kind of community has been in its successive stages of development, what have been its relations with the other communities to which English people have belonged, with which they have had dealings. There are communities within England, such as villages, towns, and counties. Around it, and separate from it in varying degrees, are such neighbouring communities as Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and France, and many others further away. There are international communities, like the churches, and many political or other associations in which England has shared. I have not surveyed the histories of any of these other communities, except in as far as they explain the growth and action of England. By that I mean England in the strict sense, not Great Britain or the British Isles. This book is not in any sense a shortened version or summary of the series of volumes called the Oxford History of England. It does not cover the same ground. It omits some subjects which those volumes treat at length. Where it deals with the same subjects, it does not always rely on the same authorities or arrive at the same conclusions. I must, however, express my gratitude to the authors of the Oxford History, both for which they have contributed to the common stock of knowledge and for what I personally have learned from my long association with them. In order to keep the text down to a manageable length, I have omitted some matters altogether instead of reducing the scale throughout. To save some readers time or trouble, I have used some familiar proper names when they are not strictly correct. For instance, I have mentioned York and Kent in periods when they are anchorisms, and I have chosen such forms as Bodisa. Trying to see that's here on the map. Nope. Alfred, Connaught, and Owen Glendor because they are in everyday use. Oh, those are forms. York and Kent are. There's York right there, just shortly beneath the D in Northumberland. And Kent is a county. I think that's where Canterbury is. Obviously, this is not a map of broken counties. It's English territory, Danish or Norse territory, Celtic lands, Swamp. Oh, England has Swamp? That's completely new to me. Did not know that. Going to the next page. It is only in a general expression of things that I can acknowledge many detailed obligations both to printed books and to my friends and correspondents. Among these, I must especially thank Mr. Robert Blake, Provost of the Queen's College, Oxford, Professor Edmund Ford, and Dr. Peter Sorry for valuable advice. Dr. J.W. Goff most kindly read the whole book in proof. His sharp eye and ready learning improved to many places. G.N.C. Oxford, 15th of December, 1970. And that is the author. That's the preface of English history. Now I'm going to end this one and make another video going over part 1 elements, archaeology and prehistory, geography, climate, race, and human nature. Those are pages 1 through 10. Thank you for listening.